Hello and welcome to Three and Out. I'm your host, Rod. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope everyone had a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Um, Mine was due to my Dallas Cowboys defeating the Kansas City Chiefs by the score of 28-31. So yeah, my Thanksgiving was very, very much happy and thankful. Um, but I thought both teams played a great game. Both teams looked like they were very, very determined to come away with a win. Um, but I couldn't be more um, happy for my Dallas Cowboys, winning their last three games in a row, starting with the Philadelphia Eagles and now the Kansas City Chiefs, which both of those teams were in the Super Bowl just, this past season. So the Dallas Cowboys have a lot to be thankful for. And beating both of those teams, give the team supreme confidence. So hopefully they can continue to put it together, um, week in and week out. And we still have 5 games left to play. So um, it only gets tougher for the Dallas Cowboys. But again, couldn't be more happy for the Dallas Cowboys today, because they look like a completely different team. And this is where this is their playoffs right now because they have no room for error. So hopefully, again, they can continue to win. But let's get into some of these game stats. On first downs, the Dallas Cowboys had 23 first downs to Kansas City 19. Um, and we all know first down is, it's an important down, because it sets the tone for the drive. So, to be able to come away with 23 first downs that says a lot about the Dallas Cowboys and their offense. Um, on third downs, the Dallas Cowboys were 19 of 16, where the Kansas City Chiefs were 5 of 13. The Dallas Cowboys on third down were very efficient. As we know, third down is another big down where it keeps the drive going and it keeps the team on the field. So um, they were amazing on third down. Um, the Dallas Cowboys had 137 rushing yards, where Kansas City had 119. I thought the Dallas Cowboys um, ran the ball okay. Wasn't great, but it was enough to keep the Dallas Cowboys offense with some balance. Um, you know, Javonte Williams he continues week in and week out to run the ball with a lot of physicality. It looks like he's not slowing down as of yet, which is a great sign. Even though he's not, he's not picking up, I don't think he's went over 100 yards in some time now, but he's still running with a lot of physicality. He continues to bring that balance to the Dallas Cowboys that their offense needs. So he only had 17 carries for 59 yards, but again, not not great, but it was good enough. So um, passing yards, the Dallas Cowboys had 320 yards passing, where Kansas City had 243 yards passing. I'm liking what I'm seeing again from the Dallas Cowboys offense. It looks like we're back on track after losing some close games early before that bye week. But it looks like the Dallas Cowboys finally look like their old offense again. Scoring over 30 points per game. So hopefully again they can continue to um, put it together. Um, total yards, the Dallas Cowboys had 457 total yards, with Kansas City had 362 total yards. But again, overall, I thought the Dallas Cowboys, dominated the game on both sides of the football. Um, minus the only takeaway that Dak Prescott had. Other than that, I thought Dak played a great game. Dak was 27 of 39 for 320 yards, two touchdowns, and one interception. With a passer rating of 104. Again, MVP numbers from Dak. He's still in this MVP race. I'm hoping he can really, really get closer because if he does, that just means that the team is continue to possibly win and keep their playoff hopes alive. So, um, yeah, Dak was focused, and even though he had the one interception, but still he never let up. So he looked very, very good against the Chiefs defense. I think Dak was only sacked one time in that game. So, um, great for the offensive line protection. But I do want to talk about CeeDee Lamb because in the game against the Eagles, CD took a lot of criticism for his poor performance and the drops that he had, and I'm happy to see that CeeDee Lamb was able to bounce back with a great performance because he's too much of a talent, and he's got all the skill sets, but those games against the Eagles and in those drops, you just can't, especially at this time of the season where every play and every drive and every game will matter, and you don't want to be looking back and saying, "Man, what if I would have?" But I'm glad to see that CeeDee Lamb was able to bounce back. Um, again, you know, he had 9 targets, caught 7 balls for 112 yards, and he had the touchdown. Um, didn't have any drops. Um, so again, I'm very, very happy for CeeDee Lamb and the way that he was able um, to bounce back. Um, I do want to talk on um, the defense a little bit. I thought the defense had a great game versus Patrick Mahomes. Um, we were able to get to him 3 times. I think Jadeveon Clowney had 2 sacks, and um, Dante Fowler had he had the 1 sack. I'm sorry, I destroyed his name there for a minute, but yeah, Fowler had the 1 sack. Um, but again, I can't be more proud for the Dallas Cowboys defense. Um, their last 3 games, holding their opponent to under 30 points, and as crazy as that sound, to say that, but it shows improvement for the defense to hold their opponents to under 30 points. Um, so yeah, I have to give those guys their respect. Also, defensive coordinator Eberflus, I have to give him his respect as well because this defense have completely turned it around. Um, they had only they had 7 penalties for 50 yards. I think I talked about it before. When you could be disciplined um, and not having those pre-snap penalties or just throughout the game just silly dumb penalties. I think the Cowboys in these last few games have been very, very focused. They have shown a lot of discipline. They're not committing a lot of penalties. I think Kansas City had 10 penalties for 119 yards. The Dallas Cowboys only had 7. So again, they're showing signs of improvement. Um, but again, we still have some games left, and hopefully that the defense can continue to improve. And um, I mean, the sky's the limit for the defense. But I have to give those guys their respect. I have to call it how I see it, and they have improved in these last 3 games. So again, we have a big game coming up against the Detroit Lions. It's going to be the defense is going to have their hands full because we know what type of offense the offense for the Lions have. Their head coach is going to be very, very, very aggressive. So the Dallas Cowboys going to have to be very disciplined, locked in, and ready to play the Detroit Lions because that's a very, very critical game. I do believe if the Dallas Cowboys can win this game versus the Lions, I believe that they can take care of the rest of their schedule because I think this is the game that's left on their schedule that it's a it's a big game, even though they have some divisional games left in there. But I think they can definitely win those games. And also, I think they got a game at home versus the Chargers. But I think this is the game on the road that the Dallas Cowboys have to go in there and get and have. And if they do so, I believe that they probably could run the table and make their playoff hopes much more easier. But I'm not going to hold you guys. Again, thank you guys for joining me as always. It was fun. And until next time, thank you guys for joining me.